stock traders, and welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Stock Sumo. Thanks for joining us on this freaky Friday, June 1st. That's right, we're kicking off a new month here at STTRADIO. And you know what time it is, folks. It's time to top off your cup of coffee with Stock Traders Talk Radio as we begin to look through the markets. So fire up your scanners, open up those charts, and turn on your trading accounts. Joining us on this morning's program, we have Haas. What up, dog?
I think you're getting longer with your freakies every single week there, buddy. Good stuff. I'm doing good this morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, bud. I actually stole that move right there. That's that was a DJ here where I'm located. They were on a independent, like a college radio station, and I kind of learned that move from him because every Friday that's how he would open up the show. So I'm not gonna take credit for something if it's not mine.
Attaboy. Well, you sound good doing it regardless, man.
Good stuff. Also, joining us on this morning's program, we have Sifakia.
Aloha, boys. Looks like it's Bloody Friday is what it is.
Blood in the streets. Bloody
Blood
Friday.
in the streets.
Good. I'm just going to let you rant and rave a little bit about what's going to happen, or what do you think is going to happen here at the Open, and why we're seeing a gap down. So run with it, bud.
Oh, it's simple. Your economic calendar. We talk about it all the time, and here she is, showing her ugly face. You were already down from overseas action. We keep having the European trips. You had China coming out with some bad news, and then of course we had our data today, and you know what that was? That was the job numbers, and those sucked. And boom, we're down 2%. So we'll see. Looks like we're bouncing a little bit. You go to the S&P 500, or better yet, you go to the SPY and look at the SPY on daily. You can see here they're taking us down, and they already kissed. This is showing the pre-market trade as well, and they took us down and they kissed that 200 MA. So let's see if we're gonna have a little reversal, a little bounce off that 200 MA. We talked about, back when we broke that 100 MA. You can see, the basics here. Sticking to the chart, when we broke the 20 MA through that 50, you can see what happened. We talked about when we broke through the 100, the trapdoor effect. Trapdoor. Well, guess what, guys? If we can't hold this 200 MA, another trapdoor. Where does that trapdoor lead? Who really knows? We've drawn the lines on this before, but I'm going to go ahead and draw this one line here for you. Let's see if I can get it to work. Why? Not working. Anyways, my line was going to draw right like that. Try to fix this while Haas is doing his thing, but you can see my projection. Obviously, there's other supports along the way, but I'm just saying, look back at a long-term chart, guys, and let's go look at a weekly real quick here. Now, of course, we could hold that support. Here's a weekly. You can see, obviously, you've got your 50 MA right there around 128.67, which is basically not too far below where we're at right now. We're at 129.18, so this isn't representing the move down right now on this. And then you got your 100, they're at 125.55, and then that 200 down there all the way down at 114. I mean, I don't think we're going there, but anyways, you get my drift. But I'm just looking at this old breakout point right in here. You can see how key this level is, and that basically is around 120, which would correlate to 1200 in the S&P 500. So anyways, I don't want to be too bearish, but look at your chart. Summers ain't the greatest. The boys are in the Hamptons lapping up the sun and hanging out with the movie stars. They ain't trading. So anyways, keep that in mind. Next few months could be tough. Tough. Back to you, Haas. Sumo. Who
Good
wants it?
stuff. I think just want to add a little bit to that. I would have to agree that the summer, we enter the summer doldrums. The market is very cyclical. We have strong times in the fall and in the spring, and it slows down during the summer and over the holidays. So, we're at one of those periods right now where things should start to slow down. And me personally, I'm going to take this time to free up capital and, get positioned to be sitting on the sideline for once the fall comes, because as always the case, there's always a lot of opportunities, a lot of good runners during the fall time. So come September, October, November, that's when things will really start to heat up again. That's usually the scenario. So I'm going to take these next couple of months to kind of just sit on the sidelines, free up some capital, and just get ready for the fall time. What do you think about that, Haas?
I totally agree with you, man. Summer's obviously can be pretty slow, and the market outlook is rather bleak. People are pretty scared. I'm not an expert on the big boards by any means or the overall market conditions. That's Sippy Cop in your area of expertise more than mine, because I don't follow it as closely as I do my penny stocks and my pile of SHIT penny stock market. But, anyone who has half a brain can figure out that people are scared out there right now. There's some bad stuff going on, and I don't know if the market's going to take too kindly to that in the near term. But as always, I'm sure the government will come in and save us all. So I fully agree with your idea. Get liquid, have a cash position ready, because there's going to be a big bounce if it does end up tanking.
Let's talk about a strategy. Let's say it wasn't the summertime and we were in the spring or the fall when the markets are a little bit more active and there's more opportunities out there. What amount of your portfolio would you dedicate to free capital and dry powder?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm just asking you and Siffy, because I'm sure we all have our own ideas, but it's just good something to talk about, just for some good content, just to give people an idea on our strategies and what works well for us. So what type of percentage of your portfolio do you like to keep liquid at any given moment during the spring or the fall when the markets are more active?
Oh man, that depends on so many different things. Obviously, I'm not playing the actual market itself, and it depends on what plays are coming up at what time, I guess. The penny market's completely sporadic, man. There could be a huge runner in the works at any time, but I like to stay a little more liquid in the summer, and find a couple of gems in the fall to start accumulating. But I don't know. That's hard to say.
I think, me personally, I think it's a good idea to have, at the minimum, 10 to 25% capital available at any given moment, just because you never know, something might come along, there might be an opportunity, the market could tank and things could crash. There might be a opportunity to, that if you don't have the capital available, you don't get to take advantage of it. So it's always a good idea, I would think, to at least have 10 to 25% of your portfolio liquid at any given moment. That's just me personally. And sometimes you'd probably like to have up to 50% of it cash liquid.
Yeah, I'd say at least 25.
Siffy, what do you think about that, bud?
I love cash.
Sippy loves cash.
Cash.
Cash
Liquidity,
is king.
liquidity. Trade. I'm not an investor, man. Nelson's Verizon.
Good stuff. All right, bud. Well, why don't we flip it over to you, Haas, and let you talk about what's buzzing or what you like in the OTC, what has news, what you want to spotlight, and take it away, bud.
That sounds pretty good to me. We're actually going to do a little mini spotlight on U.S. energy initiatives this morning. Ticker is USEI, heating up in pretty big ways yesterday after a slight increase in chatter over the last couple of weeks. I know we've mentioned this one on the show a couple times, and I don't even know if I did a mini spotlight on this one before, but we're going to do it again, even if I did, just because. Definitely an interesting one coming to light here. As you can see, this thing started heating up as far as dollar volume traded. Several months of basically $0 in volume. Started to quietly increase in dollar volume here in early May. And then yesterday, the biggest dollar volume trading day in a long, long, long time, $133,000. Finishing up over 100% on the day, creeping up from as low as 0009, 001 area here when it first started getting a few bucks coming in, all the way up to the nice little 10-bagger here at 1.15 cent finish yesterday on 14 million shares traded. So what's going on with this one? Well, just checking out the basic website. It's not finished yet. It's actually a process in the works, but they do have a website that they're going to be putting up soon. U.S. Energy Initiatives Corp., yada, yada. They have their email here, phone number here. If you click on here, a revitalized company website under development. So clearly in development, but they do have a little PowerPoint presentation that you can go through. I'm not going to go over everything on this website because we'll go over some of the stuff in the actual quarterly report that they put out recently, which is one of the reasons why people are interested in this stock right now anyways. So going to over-the-counter markets, we're going to go to check out financials here and see what sort of releases they've been putting out recently. Scrolling down here, you can see they're definitely trying to update pink sheets. They're an over-the-counter pink limited information company at this point, and hopefully they'll be a over-the-counter pink current company in the very near future. They're definitely trying to get there. Throughout May here, they've been releasing some old financial statements, putting out quarterly reports, annual reports, and attorney letters with respect to current information back here in early May, May 10th, 2012, which is one of the key dates where a more significant dollar volume started coming into the stock. I think we had about a $20,000 day there, if I remember correctly. The initial company information and disclosure statement. All right, and I'm not going to double up on information, but in that initial company information and disclosure statement, it describes a merger that they're bringing into USEI, and we'll actually go over that in the most recent quarterly statement that they just put out on May 29th. Okay, so let's go take a look at that May 29th. Well, actually, this is a quarterly report as of March 31st, 2012 that they put out on May 29th. So first thing I always look at in a quarterly report, they always have the share structure information up near the top. 001 par value, 295 million common shares authorized, 261.4 issued and outstanding common shares. 0 preferred shares issued and outstanding. So actually a pretty decent share structure there for what the stock was trading at, or at around that 005 area for sure. Issued and outstanding is right near that authorized share count. Not much room for dilution. Very, very positive share structure for this company. But, you know, this company was super quiet, and they're in the process of doing some mergers and acquisitions, so we don't expect a ton of assets or anything like that at this point. So, you know, $500,000 in assets. They're definitely going to have some notes payable and raising funds for these mergers and acquisitions, so they're going to have some liabilities. So I'm not going to look too deeply into that asset to liability ratio at this point until their new companies that they're bringing in show some of their financial data and what sort of assets they're bringing into the company. But as I mentioned, really good share structure, in my opinion, for this company at this point. They're not going to be bringing any revenues as of March 31st, 2012, because frankly, just in April is when they completed their acquisition and merger with the company we'll talk about in a second here. Scroll down on this guy. Just a couple of points. Another key one with this one, especially because this company is just starting to talk a little bit here, is the nature of the business and what's been going on recently. You know, began trading over-the-counter pink. They filed a Form 15 in 2011, Form 1512G. So they delisted basically, and now they're getting all their stuff updated on pink sheets now, and they're just starting to roll into the stage of bringing in a merger acquisition and actual business operations. All right, so right here, this is a key point, and this is what everyone's getting hyped about on Investors Hub and elsewhere. USEI acquired all of the assets and liabilities of AM Oil Resources and Technology, a private company that once traded as a public company under the symbol AMOR.OB for preferred and common shares. The company has innovative oil recovery technologies and a strategy for recovering marginally producing oil. As a result of this acquisition, our oil and gas sector will seek to acquire and develop stranded or unrecovered oil properties for enhanced oil production, create partnerships with operators, create strategic alliances for primary and secondary recovery, and partner with farm-ins on properties where technology will be utilized to improve recovery efforts. So a nice little private entity coming in through a reverse merger into USEI. So that's what the hype's been about recently in that May 10th information and disclosure statement that I mentioned, which was the first little release from this company in a long time. It detailed this AM Oil Resources and Technology reverse merger, and that's what started sparking interest in the stock, and people just took more notice of it yesterday. There were a couple of investor groups that have some newsletters and mailers. I don't believe they were paid, but brought this company to light to some of their members. So obviously a bunch more eyes came on this company yesterday and recently with this May 29th filing here, detailing this AM Oil Resources and Technology reverse merger a little more in detail than in that information and disclosure statement. So, just reiterating the share structure there, really nice. Let's see if they actually post the date that reverse merger occurred. I think they do down near the bottom here, actually, if I can remember correctly. But anyways, I think it was like April 10th or something. And if it doesn't detail it here, yeah, right here, April 13th. Acquisitions, item 7. On April 13th, 2012, USEI acquired all of the assets and liabilities of AM Oil Resources and Technology. So back in April there. So reverse merger, that's what all the hype's about. Everyone loves a good reverse merger with a nice share structure. And people just took more notice of it yesterday with the recent filings. So let's go over to the iHub and see if we can tease out any other information that might be of importance here. USEI, we'll just start here. Obviously they like to see who's posting on the iHub. If there's any big names, there's a couple here we recognize. You got Lucky Charm, you got Trapper Jim. There's a few others that are definitely on this behind the scenes that aren't posting here. I can tell you that right now. But yield on over-the-counter markets, we mentioned that it was probably a pink no info basically, and then it moved to limited information, and hopefully they move to current information very, very soon. And Trapper Jim has a nice little sticky post here for the new folks. USEI has completed a reverse merger and is going current. Obviously, they did the reverse merger on April 13th, 2012. It describes a little bit about this AM Oil Resources and Technology coming into the company. Very detailed share structure. He actually provides a float here, public float, 135 million. You don't have to go tease out any restricted shares. And he's obviously done that, or he called the transfer agent, who may not be gagged, and gave him that information. But regardless, double check that. But that's a very nice float for a sub-penny company bringing in an oil and gas reverse merger through that privately held company. Let's just go check out the press release that this company actually put out, I believe on May 16th, 2012. May 16th. U.S. energy initiatives revitalized and a new direction for the firm. For whatever reason, this information kind of sparked some interest, but not as much as yesterday by any means. U.S. Energy Initiatives Corp announced today that it is back. Actually, I remember going over this press release with Stock Sumo. We were laughing at this double exclamation point behind that little sentence there. Revitalized with new management and a new direction. This new energized company is expected to bring significant value to current and future shareholders. Management is actively working to become over-the-counter compliant while evaluating its automotive technologies and an exciting oil and gas plan to profitably produce standard crude oil with the acquisition of AM Oil Resources and Technology. So pretty significant reverse merger for U.S. Energy Initiatives Corporation. It was definitely up big yesterday, over 115%. So it might be due for a little pullback, but some of these reverse mergers can really take off, especially if they have a nice share structure, what this company really does. But definitely want to keep an eye on into the future. More news related to this reverse merger and what sort of assets and potential revenues that this reverse merger could bring to U.S. energy initiatives, therefore resulting in value to shareholders. I would love to get this company on the radio show, so we might have to hit them up and do that. But that's what I got for U.S. energy initiatives for the most part. So just keep your eyes on it. Definitely one to watch. You got anything to add, Sumo?
Yeah, she's gapping up on pre-market volume. Currently, the bid is 0125 by 0129. Last traded at 0119. We got pre-market volume to the tune of 50,000 shares. And yesterday, she closed at 0115. So you've seen that big momentum yesterday. She closed near the high of day. That usually translates into gap up. So I'm going to be watching this thing out of the gate. After a gap up, I expect a little bit of a pullback and then a bounce. So we'll see if my prophecy comes true.
Good stuff, man. One more thing I just want to touch on, not with this company, but before we go into any sort of volume actives we have this morning. Siffy, if you could switch back to my screen real quick. We've talked a little bit about, FDA calendars. I know we got some bio-junkie traders out there. We've talked about Arena Pharmaceuticals drugs. We've talked about, or I've mentioned a couple other ones on some of our boards. And I used to trade these religiously. And actually, it was a pretty good strategy and it worked. But for whatever reason, I got bored with it. I don't know why. And I decided to play some of these more, pile of SHIT companies and the over-the-counter stinky pinkies. Just for whatever reason, but there's plenty of sites out there where you can get these drug decision dates. One of them, www.pdufadate.com. PDUFA stands for, I would have to look it up. I don't even remember. Something with drug dates, but regardless, you have these companies here. And, you'd have to look up if all these companies are publicly traded or not, because there's going to be some private companies developing some drugs too. But a lot of these we'll recognize here. One we've been talking about a lot right here, Arena Pharmaceutical Incorporated, ticker ARNA. Drug decision. Lorcaserin is their obesity drug. And the actual FDA decision date is expected to be on or around June 27th, 2012. And we talk a lot about these runs that some of these companies' stock has into these drug decision dates. So these are definitely dates to keep in mind. Usually the loading phase starts a few weeks out. Arena has definitely been heating up just over the last week or so here, coming into June. So keep your eyes on that. A couple others that I want to point out. Let's see here. Scrolling up here, you have Xenoport Incorporated is one that I've kind of been doing some research on. They actually have this drug approved over in Japan right now, and they have a drug decision coming up on June 9th, 2012. So within the next week or so, we might be hearing something from the FDA on that one. And that share price could be significantly altered based on, if the FDA accepts or rejects this particular drug within the United States. So that's a date I'm keeping an eye on, and a company I'm keeping my eye on over the course of the next week of trading. Another one, Lymphoseek for NVIDIA Biopharmaceuticals Incorporated. This date is actually wrong for this company. It's actually coming up in September. I don't know why they have this date. They're supposed to be hearing from the FDA around June 10th, giving a specific date for this drug. But that's one that I'm keeping an eye on. Their date's supposed to be set sometime in September, I believe. So that might be a run-up, quiet one to start loading over the course of the summer here in anticipation of that date. Let's see. There was one more. BooooooooM, the other obesity drug, that's coming on June 17th. That's definitely one I'm going to keep my eye on. There was one more that I wanted to mention, I thought, but for whatever reason, I can't think of it or see it right now. So that's just something to note. You can go get these dates. Just Google FDA PDUFA dates, and you'll see this is one of the top hits. And you can maybe start playing some FDA run-up plays because they definitely offer, 20%, 30% easy clips in anticipation of those dates, provided that the companies aren't diluting. And you can do that over and over and over if you get really good at it and become a little bio junkie guru. But Sumo, why don't we go over some pre-market actives if we have anything active on this Friday? So I'm going to hand it over to you, bud.
Sure, we're going to pull up my other scanner. It's not going to be on the computer screen, so Siffy, don't even bother pulling up my one scanner. It's not going to be active right now, right yet, but I'll just go to what I got on my own proprietary scanner on my hidden screen that nobody can see. IMDS is trading a lot of pre-market volume. It's a trip 3 lotto play, trading at 0003. That's IMDS. Indigo Michael, David, Sally. Almost 9 million shares in volume thus far. We got GGSM. That's George, Sally, Michael. Trading 55,000 shares pre-market at 13.5 cents. ECDC, we've talked about that one in the past. She's trading a little pre-market volume. Only 13,000 shares at a quarter of a penny. That's Eddie Charlie, David Charlie. GWBU, that one's been trading pre-market volume consistently. Been on that big promotion. 28,800 shares traded pre-market at $1.53. CLNO, Charlie, Larry, Nancy, Oscar. Almost 18,000 shares traded pre-market at 034. Let's check out the pinks real fast. Blue Energy, Oil and Gas, BLUG, Blug. It's traded 1 million shares. That's another 000 stock trading at 0008. MMTC, Michael Tango Charlie. That's trading a few shares pre-market here at 0017. And we're getting ready for the market to open. So, Haas, be ready. Get some level 2s up. And we'll see what is cooking on the old level 2. Keep in mind, it's a Friday, so should be a little bit slower than your average day.
Yeah, it's been a slow week in general.
And we're off. USEI gapped up 0129 by 0134 out of the gate. For some reason, my scanner is not even working, and it's not even pulling up anything.
My level 2s are extremely slow this morning, but let's see what we can find. If it ever loads. Wow, some very weird level 2 action on USEI. Up 13%, 517,000 traded so far.
Big,
it's like 129 by 13 spread.
Big gap down on Apple, trading at 569 right now. She opened up as low as 568, down 8.8% right now. Apple getting beat up, I'm sure, as is a lot of stocks today. The market is down. The stocks are taking a beating today. There's blood in the streets. Ford is down 23 cents, trading at 10.33. GM is down 47 cents. Everything's just getting hit. Blood in the streets.
Yeah, man, this is good. Let's see here. IMDS, I think you mentioned that one. The level 2 is looking pretty thick on the 0002 bid side, a little thin on the 0003-esque side, but this one's had some trouble with that 0004, 0005 area. I think we called out the quadruple V day that it had. We had Vert, VNDM, VFin, and I don't know, there's one other horrible V up there, but looks like a couple of them have moved off that ass. We still got VNDM there, but showing some size. Getting some hits on 0003. This one's been really, really active as of late, that's for sure. Looks like we have AAPT taking a bigger pullback. This thing's just been a beast. 769,000 traded. Just dropping below the 6 mark now as I'm watching this. Lots of hits on the bid here, so definitely taking a dip. Level 2 on the bid side is thinning out like crazy. USEI filling that gap. Current spread 1.19 cents by 1.23 cents now. As some 1.15 hits go through. Apparently that 1.19 cent bid is actually a false bid or something through CSTI there. But 860,000 in volume last trade at 1.15, no change on the day. All right, let's go find a couple of active ones here. Did you mention GGSM?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that one's
Trading 342,000 shares at 15.5 cents, currently up 14.81%. AAPT, you mentioned that took a nice pullback this morning, and it's trying to bounce here off the low. The low of the day is 0.57. Currently, AAPT is 0.58 by 0.59, and they're showing a nice bid at 0.58 at 86,000 shares. HUTC.
I was just looking at that one. What the heck's going on there?
What is the... Yeah, 134,000 shares in volume, up 172%. Last traded at $11.85, a gain of $7.50 on the day.
My guess is some sort of buyout. I'm going to go check that out right now.
Okay, USEI did exactly as I predicted. It gapped up, and now she's pulling back. Let's see where she finds support. She's at yesterday's close of 0115. They're banging out the bids. Okay, 0114 up on the bid. Let's see if she holds over the penny mark. Looks like she's losing support, and she's losing it quick.
I'm surprised Siffy didn't have this one nailed. Verizon to acquire Hughes Telematics Incorporated.
Hello.
Hey. $12 per share in cash, or a total of $612 million buyout.
Come on, Siffy. Where you at?
Siffy.
You're always talking about Verizon this, Verizon that. You got to be following this thing better.
He doesn't follow fundamentals. You gotta be crazy.
No. AAPT just upticked and showed a big bid. 5.9 on the bid now by 0625. 106,000 shares on the bid at 058 now.
Looks like we got EGOH, Ego, with some action. Let's pull that sucker out.
Yeah, I saw that one on the old scanner as well.
That one's had some nice runs in the past. Some nice bid sport forming there at the 0013, 0014. Got about 1.5 to 2 million sitting at those two marks there. Like to see this spread fill a little bit. Current spread 0014 by 0017, which is the last trade, up 54.5%, just under 2 million in volume. Getting a few hits though. USEI trying to hold this low 1 cent area, over 1 million in volume. HUTC. I'm waiting for this thing just to truck up to $12 for that acquisition, but you know, once you get to this point, usually people just stop buying because it's only 15 cents in gain that they're going to get. I'm sure current shareholders are quite pleased, though, up 172% overnight, and Verizon acquiring your company. Looks like GGSN going to test some high of days here at 16 cents. Almost 500,000 in volume now. I'm guessing they found some gold or they found some gems. But who knows? All right, let's go find some more actives here. Or attempt to find some actives. Oh, this is horrible. Looks like GWBU is getting some action. Let's go check that one out. GWBU, this one's kind of been trucking in this $150 area for all week for the most part. I think we caught this one at like 60 cents or something on that first big volume trading day. Then it went quiet for a couple weeks, and then it just went boom on a big promotion. But 160 is going through, up 6% on the day, over 1 million in volume. Nice little fat 750,000 share bid sitting down there at $1.55. That doesn't hurt by any means. It's like Ego trying to fill that spread there a little bit. Now 0015 by 0017. Still pretty thick on the ask. 1.5 million sitting there on 0017.
I think we should try something new on the show and give one of these companies a call for all the listeners. See if we can't reach out to one of the CEOs, maybe get them on the show and ask them a couple of questions live. Freestyle. What do you say?
You do whatever you want, man.
I think this would be fun. Just try to call up the CEO and maybe schedule an interview and see if they're open to some questions right now. Let's give it a shot.
Go for it.
Let's find a company that's actively trading, has some big volume. They have to be on the East Coast too, because anybody on the West Coast a little bit too early, I don't think they're going to pick up. Or maybe 1 hour difference. Central time, they're probably up and at them. You know, it's only 8:40. 2 hours, it would be 7:40. So that, yeah. Let's try to give EGOH a call. They're out of Nevada. I've had a couple of requests from people that we should call Papa. The PAPA is the symbol on that one.
I emailed them yesterday.
Yeah, they're out of California though, so that'd be a tough one to call. But we can try to we could try to call this EGOH. We'll give it a shot real fast. Let me see what happens.
Please reach the sales office. Nobody's available right now, so please leave a message.
All right, strike one. Anybody listening to the show, if you want to call us up, you're feel free just to give us a shout. The call-in number is 347-215-7181. Again, 347-215-7181. We appreciate the feedback and always look forward to hearing from our listeners. Or drop us a line on our message board or in the chat room. If there's something that you want to discuss, we'd be happy to talk about it. All right, USEI is bouncing here. She came down. We saw the gap up, and before the open, I had predicted a gap up and a pullback and a possible bounce, and we're starting to see it right now. She bounced off of 011 and just traded at 0123. Currently, they're showing 012 as the offer.
Man, my level 2 screen is freezing up now.
Well, at least it's not a crazy day that you don't have to worry about missing something.
Very true. Well, it looks like it's going to be mean. Can you still hear me, Sumo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think I lost my connection completely. On this computer. Well, at least I'm awake after spilling half a cup of coffee on myself this morning.
AAPT, big ask slap. 100,000 shares just hit the offer at 062. And the bids are 0609. I like the pullback and bounce here. AAPT has just been an absolute monster. And now 065 up on the offer. So we called the pullback. We caught the support. We've seen the big bids show up. And now you're seeing some nice ask slaps going on. Another 70,000 shares just hit the offer and it upticked. 066 up on the offer as the bounce came at 057. So we're already up a penny off of the low today, nearly a penny. 009 gain off of the low. So AAPT coming back strong. Yeah, looking forward to the weekend. Gonna try to get out and play some golf again, as I do every weekend during the summer. Man, the summer is like one of my favorite times of the year for me.
Yeah, I love my golf, but as you know, I'm a diehard hockey fan, so I like my winter too. In the best of both worlds is kind of the summer in Minnesota because I can still play hockey. You can find hockey in the summer in Minnesota, and you can play golf. So I definitely got to get out and start golfing more too. But we've been having so much rain lately. It's been hard to get out, but the last couple of days have been pretty nice. So hopefully get out this weekend. Love having connectivity issues. I would love to help you out right now, Sumo, but I'm trying to load some page where I can do that. Wow. Oh, we actually got a page loaded. Very nice.
Yeah. Let's go back to the old scanner and see if anything else is most active. I hate having dull air for our listeners. I wish I could just get on my hands and do a handstand or something and make it interesting. Start doing cartwheels, backflips, anything. Oh, look at this. We got a caller. Let's see.
Thank God.
Hello, caller. You're live on the air. STT Radio.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I saw that. I heard the dead space. I had to call in. I'm calling from Canada.
Oh.
Listening to you boys down there in the United States, the excited states of America.
Yeah, we're having a few technical issues this morning. That's for sure. My screen can't load for anything. What's your name?
My name's Bartman. I've been listening for a little while, actually. Sumo pointed me in your direction, at least a while back. I log in every now and then, and I just saw so many things on the red side this morning that I thought I'd listen to what you guys had to say, and all I heard was dead space, so I thought I'd call in.
Yeah, we're trying to read some level 2 screens and find some runners, but it's tough out there right now. It is bleeding like no other in both the over-the-counter and the big boards.
Yeah, I'm watching it. One of the things that I'm really finding interesting is I kind of watch the ratio between the price of gold and the price of crude oil.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, oil's down to $83.90 or something like that. But gold's up almost $40. It's coming in at $1,599. So we got the gap seems to be opening up here, and it makes me wonder whether or not there's going to be another run on gold. Silver's been kicked around pretty good. I played a little bit of options on Pan American silver and made some money last month. But I'm looking at this whole thing, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's upside down.
Yeah, anytime you see this kind of panic in the markets, people tend to run to the gold and silver and precious metals and stuff like that. And oil is, I don't know, I just feel like oil is manipulated so much that it's a little bit tougher to predict where that one's going to go, regardless of market conditions.
Yeah, that's why I look at the ratio. I just can't predict what's going to happen with the oil, but with gold you can. And since there's so many Canadian TSX stocks that are associated with the price of the commodity, and we've been beaten up so much in the last 2-3 months. Well, actually, it's probably 6 months now.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably time, like Sumo was saying, just to go to cash and look for the values at the bottom end, and then scoop up those ones for the fall, because it's got to turn around.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Aloha, Canada.
Okay, so what? Aloha, Canada. I think I was suggesting that you guys should have a Canada moment on here. If your show is an hour long, since Canada is literally 10 times smaller, you guys should give us 6 minutes to cover off the Canadian stocks that are moving and shaking it. And going.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I got something to throw in there with your oil and your gold theory there, my friend.
I got a Canadian one for you.
So,
what is it?
I think with the oil, like you said, it looks like it's definitely going lower. Especially with you having China come out today with bad numbers. You see the whole. We were talking about our pre-market show, me and the boys, and the economic forecast is not looking so hot, right? We can all agree on that. We've got our job numbers coming out today. Don't forget, we got ISM at 10 a.m. So there's could be another egg in the face. But as for the gold and the silver, I think what you're seeing today, and you see this happen a lot. I mean, not only are they totally beaten, gold was flirting with a 70-month low the other day, looking to almost break 1,500, which would have been a trap door. But what you're seeing today is, I would have to say the same thing you see every time when the economy starts getting bad, is this is the street putting the QE3 back on the table. The Fed, basically looking at the Fed saying, hey, this economy starting to slide. We can't have that. Let's fire up the printing press. Let's do Operation Twist 2. Whatever it is we do, we know one thing as traders. The pattern is when they do that, that's free money for Wall Street. That'll probably coincide with the boys coming back from the Hamptons, and we will load the boat and cha-ching it from October until February, right?
Yes.
That's what
All
I'm
right.
thinking too. I was listening to Bloomberg this morning, and literally, I mean, maybe this is desperation, but they're basically saying, don't put any money in the euro. Stay away from every single currency over there. If you want to do anything, take a look long term. Wait for interest rates to actually go up. They're saying the long-term bond rates definitely got to increase. They've got to act. They got to do some stimulus to get more money flowing back into the states. And I got a feeling that it is worldwide. It's definitely going to have a greater demand. So, we could start to see and push back to.
Yeah, we were looking at the charts earlier and
18
basically
or 18
talking about the
high percentage in there.
S&P 500 could trapdoor on this 200 moving average where she's basically sitting right now on a daily chart. And you got on the other side the CBO market volatility index, the VIX, just peeking its head up through the 200 MA, and the VIX is at 25.55 right now. And you can see the 20 MA is this run pretty much started when it crossed through one of our favorite indicators, crossing through that 50. Now the 20 is through the 100. The 50 is just coming through that 100 MA. And like I said, the VIX is above the 200 MA. Look back in time and see what happened. This thing could explode. We could have some serious volatility come in the market. Or this could be the end and it's a buying opportunity. We move forward. But I'm going to have to stick with time, as time usually doesn't lie, and go with history and say that it's going to be slow sideways with the downwards projection. Sell rallies all summer long. Who's with me?
Just to add, absolutely, sell the rallies. Sell into strength, and when you see too much weakness, you don't just buy into weakness right away. You got to wait till it really bottoms out. But I wanted to add a little bit to what Bartman had said about the euro. I was watching Jim Cramer earlier this week, and a caller had called in asking about investing in any European companies, and he had suggested that don't invest in any European companies, and don't be trying to trade the euro because they're just having too much trouble over there, and right now is not the time. So.
Yeah, I think that's the message they want to put out there too. Is they don't want any money escaping, our local economies here, whether it's Canadian or American. They want the money to stay over here and stimulate as much as possible. And that there's going to be another round of easing here. They're going to throw more money at this. They have to. And it may be not the most popular thing, going into the election, but if it works, and it does start to pull things out, then he's going to look like a hero. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be the Democrats or the Republicans, but whatever pushes it through. So you tell me.
Yeah,
Awesome.
2 words: Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Boom. That was awesome. Let's do it again. One more time. So what else is going on up in Canada, man? What's your favorite stock?
I've been watching, last year I watched a company called Meadow Bay, M-A-Y, and I'm long it at average about 90 plus cents. It's trading at 50 cents right now. They did all of their financing last year, $18 million financing at $1 or above, and they didn't issue one warrant with it. It was just a straight equity financing. The company has coming on 1.5 million ounces of indicated gold, which is the one step below in Nevada, and they've got an extended zone there, and it's actually an old existing mine, and I'm looking at it right now, and I heard through the rumor mill that they're going to be doing a financing down here at 50, 60 cents, and they're going to attach a warrant to it, which is unheard of for these guys. And I think they're doing it just to their insider group. So I'm looking at MAY to make a move here. If gold prices continue to stay solid in here, maybe move up, I could see this thing moving back above the dollar mark. And, a 50-cent buy right now is pretty damn good. So I'm looking at that one. on the oil and gas side of things in Canada, there's a bunch of small ones that are doing fairly well. That everybody's heard of the Bakken play, but there's a lesser known Alberta Bakken, which extends from just south of Calgary down into Montana. And I'm looking at a couple companies that have got properties in Canada as well as in the Montana area. One that I like is a company called Hillcrest, just because of their land package. So there's a couple right there. That's my oil, and that's my gold.
Good stuff. Well, hey,
Very nice.
we really appreciate you calling in and love the insight. So we're gonna open an open invitation. You can feel free to call in and share your knowledge anytime.
All right. Well, I watch some of these things, and I may do that. I gotta go. I can hear my wife stirring here, so I've got stuff to do.
All right. Take care. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Cheers. Bye.
Aloha,
Cheers.
Canada.
We're not opposed to Canada by any means. We have Canadian employees.
We have Canadian tech support.
Hey.
Canadian tech support.
Sometimes they're a little slow on the trigger, but hey, it's all good.
Hey, don't start with your racism.
Oh, don't even start there.
Oh boy.
I just like to have a sense of humor. I love everyone. God created us all equal, and I just like to have fun joking around. It's all in good fun.
No, for sure. No, I actually used to be a pretty active Toronto Stock Exchange trader. I used to do quite a bit of dabbling in some mining plays, actually overseas in the United Kingdom too, on the London Exchange. And every once in a while, I'll still get involved with that. I got a good buddy who has a really, really good website, puts out an awesome report overseas in Belgium there. I actually Skype with him pretty often, and he's definitely a young guru in that market. He helps a bunch of these mining companies raise funds and stuff like that. So I get a bunch of private placement offers, but there's definitely some gems to be found on the Toronto Stock Exchange for sure. If you know what to look for. Definitely. Anyways, that's my little ramble on that.
All right, fellas. Well, we're at the 10 o'clock mark. I think it's been a good day, and I'm ready to jump into the weekend. I'm excited to kick back and relax. It's been a long week, and it's gonna be tough out there for the next few months. So let's call it a day.
All right. Peace out, STT Radio.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Be sure to tune in Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, Stock Traders Talk Radio, we're out. So long.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.